Today we'll give you 7 tips for getting started in Watch Dogs Legion. There are a ton of things you can do in Watch Dogs Legion, and lots of ways for you to do them. But to make it a little less overwhelming, we've put together a handful of tips to make rebuilding DedSec just a little easier. Being an open world game, you can run off and do whatever you like almost right from the start. And you'll see other sources all over the place tell you that you need to recruit a construction worker right away. And we're going to tell you, no you don't. What you actually need to do is just follow the markers and play the main missions for a little bit. Because if you follow the main storyline up through a certain mission, not only will you automatically recruit that coveted construction worker, but you're also going to reveal a good chunk of the map. We're also going to let you know that if you don't like the way the construction worker plays or its perks, that cargo drone that everyone says you need that construction worker for is actually really not that hard to come by. Lots of players wonder where they should start spending their tech points. There are lots of choices and no real trees to progress through, so with all those options, it can be a little overwhelming. We're here to tell you your first points need to go into the Spiderbot. Not only should this be your tech, you also need to upgrade it at least one level in order to get the double jump. The reason is twofold. First, the Spiderbot is going to be your ticket to a lot of your future tech points. And also, while the game claims to have no real main character, we think, just like the cake, that's a lie. The main character of this game is the Spiderbot, so upgrade it right away. A skill that many see as not very useful when they read the description is the Deep Profiler, but it is much more useful than it seems. You see, while you technically can recruit just about anyone, you can't just walk up to anyone and everyone and start them on their DedSec journey. Some characters need a little nudging. That's where the Deep Profiler comes in. You use it to learn about those that you'd like to recruit that aren't so welcoming to your mission. The Deep Profiler helps create missions for you that will bring those characters currently against your cause over to your side. It's very useful for making a foe your friend. That brings us to almost every restricted area on the map is friendly to Albion. So that means once you've unlocked the Deep Profiler, you can do just a few missions and bring a member of the Albion staff to your side. Once you do that, things are going to get a lot easier in those areas. Not a cakewalk, being that when you're in uniform, you're only less suspicious. You're not truly undercover. Now that you've gained easier access to most of those restricted areas on the map, go collect those tech points. Also, especially since we're early in the game, don't go in the front door. Our suggestion is to mark the tech point locations on the map, use a cargo drone to float into those locations, toss your now jumpy Spiderbot into the situation, pick up the good stuff, and get out of there. Rinse and repeat that, and soon you're going to have more tech points than you know what to do with. And remember, as we said earlier, you are not the star of the show. The Spiderbot is. Trust us. Send that little guy in first to see what's going on and if they can handle it. In most cases, you won't need to get involved at all. Now that you've been floating around collecting tech points, and hopefully grabbing the ETO and other collectibles that have been nearby, you should have enough to start unlocking all kinds of cool stuff. Now, what you go for really depends on how you like to play. It may be tempting to buy up all the weapons, but we suggest some other cool stuff, like the cloak, the disrupt hack, and that you unlock all of the drone hacks. Because trust us, it is very useful to not only be able to disable those things, but taking them over is the best. Because why fight the enemy yourself when you can make their own drones fight them for you? Finally, we suggest the sideways way of recruiting that will get you all the special operatives. The entire map is available to you right after the tutorial missions. This means you can run around and free up all of the zones with almost no problem at all, especially if you followed our first few tips. Each of the 8 districts has just a handful of tasks for you to do in order to convert it from oppressed to Defiant. And if you're following our tips, you've upgraded your Spiderbot and are using the cargo drone to get around, so completing these tasks will be no problem at all. Once you have the tasks in a district taken care of, you'll get an actual mission that will not only unlock a special operative for you, but also mark your map with all those sweet tech point locations. It's win-win.
Time to plan out my best.
Follow these 7 tips, and by the time you hunker down to play through the rest of the main storyline, you're going to have your pick of all the special characters to use, all the weapons you want, and all your gadgets will be fully upgraded. It's going to make your journey through the rest of the main storyline the breeze it really should be.